I'm currently getting the smoke detector wires all run. I'm using a 14-3. It includes the little wire for the communication so that if one goes off, they'll go off. The attic right now is about 116 degrees. I actually measured the temperature because I was curious. So I'm trying to get up there, get it done, get down, cool off, go back up, come back down. So gotta get her done mode. So I put the wire up through the hole. Hard to do one-handed, holding the camera. There we go. And then I take my fish stick, I go to the next hole and punch it up through the insulation. So I've got the stick up in the attic, and then I crawl up into the attic. And then I look around for the wire that I just shoved up through. And then I find the fish stick, which is right there. And I find the hole. Drop that down. Shove this through the hole. Nope, actually I did that wrong. It's hard to do this and hold the camera. Hang on, let me see if I can get you, keep you from falling down there. So I don't want the wire to be on top of the trusses, because if somebody steps on it, it's a bad idea. So I'm actually gonna route this under all of the trusses all the way across, which is a pain in the butt and itchy and all kinds of fun stuff. And then I re-fluff the insulation so it is poofy, and rinse and repeat. It's amazing how different it sounds up here. Because of all the insulation, it's actually quite difficult to get anybody's attention down in the house. I would have to scream because all the insulation just absorbs all of the sound. Yeah, so I've got the rest of those to run, and then I'm going to run a line all the way across to the breaker box so that I can power all of the units. And they'll be ready to put the boxes up in the ceiling and then put in the smoke detectors. My amazing wifey has been working on painting the ceilings all day long. Looking pretty good. Getting everything cut out and then doing the textured ceilings. The living room turned out really good. Oh, look at that. Got all the lights put up into the ceiling now, so it looks good. So we got Frank back, and Frank's son over there.
Smile, Frank.
Hey. Getting all the ducting put all back in together, locking it all back to the main trunk lines, and then they're actually going to coat the main trunk lines to make sure they're completely sealed, which I think is a fantastic idea.
Yep.
They're doing a bang-up job.
Clean them up. We got a nice filter we put in. This is a standard filter, and I put these on all my jobs. Okay, put it in the right way. Screen hose goes this way. But that way, especially when you're down here, you only have to change this maybe twice a year.
Yeah.
Okay. As opposed to having a little filter that gets clogged up.
And because I'm sure people are going to ask why we're having the filter in the basement. Well, this house has a return in each room, which means that you can keep your door closed and actually get air circulating. So I prefer having returns in each room, but that means that the filter has to be down here in the crawl space. But the type he's putting in only has to be changed a couple times a year. Unless you're particularly gross, then, you know, it might be changed more often. So. The kitchen cabinets are getting installed by the Amish crew that built them in 2 days. Dad and I are making sure that everything is completely ready for that. Dad's getting the last little bits of the skim coat and final sanding done on the drywall. Molly's going to come in and paint it today or tomorrow after everything is dry and sanded. And I'm working on that area of the ceiling where we had to patch where the old wall was. I'm going to be trying to match back in the old texture. I put a light off to the side to oblique light this area. You can definitely tell a lot better with the lighting like that where I need to patch in the texture and where I don't need to mess with. I haven't done this a whole lot. I don't know how good I'm going to be at it or not, but I'm going to give it a go and see what happens. So I'm not going to pretend that I'm a professional, you know, because I've done it once, therefore I'm a professional, but we'll see what happens.
I did it once, and that's why I know I'm not a professional.
I took a couple of minutes and just chopped out this little bit of wood, sanded it down, made sure that it was good and smooth, bodged a little handle on the back. I don't have one of the professional splat tools, so I just made one real quick. Hopefully it'll work. This is what I have figured out that seems to be working on this one, just sort of by way of experimentation, trying different things. So I take regular drywall mud and I actually watered it down, get it all mixed in, reduces the consistency, makes it a little bit smoother and waterier, more waterier, whatever. And then I'm spreading it on the ceiling with a knife, fairly thin. I've tried it thicker. It sticks too much and leaves like inch-long stalactites. I don't want that. So fairly thin, a little bit watered down. I've seen houses where it's like that, where it's 3-inch long, crazy stuff. I'm not gonna do that here. I'm running it up over top of the old stuff, just a little bit, and smoothing it out. Then I take my patented scrap of wood thing here and just splat, splat, splat. If I push hard, I end up with really big, that's not what the other stuff is, so it needs to be kind of light, so light pressure. And I'm rotating as I do it, all the way around the whole area. And the existing ceiling has these little circle patterns where they had the bumper that they used, and you know, you just sit on or stand on the ground and splat up with a pole. So in order to emulate that sort of circular pattern, because this doesn't give it, I'm putting it on the ceiling, rotating this around, and then pulling off, and it gives me those circle patterns, which sort of matches what's already up there, which is really cool, because I want this to disappear. Oh man, this is hard on my shoulders. So I'm going over the whole area first, and then I'll do the little circle thing where it looks like it could use one. And as with all artwork, the number one thing is knowing when to stop. Even one splat too many, it would ruin the whole thing. I'd have to start over. I think that's it. I hit the correct number of splats and it's done. I'm gonna put a fan on it and accelerate the drying process. If there's any areas I need to go back and touch up, I will.